is. Yeah.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
I'm Maddie.
I'm Christen.
And this is the We Share Needles podcast.
Yay! Oh, we're outside.
We're outdoors at my mom's house,
Yes.
my mom and dad's house, because it's nice out. And the lighting's good. And yeah.
It felt like a really good day to just sit on the porch.
And neither of us had to clean our houses if we podcasted here.
Right.
So that's a win.
If you're new here, this is a knitting podcast.
It is.
Most of the time.
Mostly.
And this time we don't have a baby.
We don't have a baby. We're two best friends who live in Central Arkansas. And
we like to knit.
And sometimes crochet, cross stitch, all the crafty things. Mm-hmm. And today is Sunday, March 24th. And it's been like a month since we last podcasted. Just about on the dot a month.
That's how we do it.
Now, apparently.
It's a monthly podcast now. That's okay. You missed us. We missed you.
What are you drinking, friend?
I'm drinking a iced frozen coffee from Seven Brew, and it's delicious. Thanks, friend.
You're welcome, friend. I'm drinking an ice green tea with peach and mango, and it's also delicious. And I have water.
We love
to
water.
be hydrated.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
I feel like I knit a lot over the last month and gave everything away. So
you did, and I did not knit nearly as much, but I also gave it all away.
But I have pictures of the stuff I knit. So do we want to just dive into
finished objects? Let's do it.
Let's go. I have two things with me currently. One's on my foot.
Show us them footsies.
Ugh. I knit these socks. I got the yarn at the Yarn Adventure truck, and I got it like a year ago, and I just knit them this last week. And it's just a vanilla sock with a heel flapping gusset, and I did like a Colorwork situation that I'll send Christen a picture so you can see it closer.
Sorry about the wiggling. The camera is propped on a table and it wiggles.
Yeah, it's not great. And then I also knit a little matching pair of socks for my niece, my soon-to-be-born niece. And they're adorable. Same little Colorwork on the toe.
So cute and tiny.
I love it. So for these guys, I did 32 stitches. And I did about 2 inches of 2x2 rib, a little mini heel flapping gusset. And then I continued the rib down the top of the foot. And then I did the little... I have notes and Ravelry on these because that's been my go-to newborn sock pattern. And I plan to knit a bunch of those. And then... Sorry, my grandpa's in there. I was just looking because I thought he would be standing at the window.
Being creepy?
Yeah, that seems like something you would do.
It's like an old man.
And when I got here, he was like, oh, I get to see something new today. And I was like, no. It's funny. But yeah, finished those last weekend when we went to, when me and two of our other knitting friends went to Eureka Springs for Eureka Fiber Fest. Knit those in the car. And then I bought a bunch of stuff, which you'll see later. They're really cute. I love them. So those are the only two finished objects I have with me. I finished a bunch of stuff for the baby shower, which was 3 weeks ago. So I finished stuff right after we filmed last time. My older brother, Malachi, and his wife, Daisha, are having a baby, and they named her Addie Jade. My name is Maddie Jade. I'm gonna sob. They named their baby after me. So I'm gonna knit so much fucking stuff for this baby. Like, non-stop knitting for this baby because it's my baby, basically. Obsessed. These are for Addie Jade, but I just texted Christen a bunch of pictures of the stuff that I knit. So it'll be in here. I knit one of the emotional support chickens.
Here's a chicken.
There's a chicken because my brother Malachi raised chickens when we were kids. And so when I saw it, I just thought he needed that. And then when I gifted it, I tied a picture I found of Malachi holding a chicken to it and gifted it to him. And Daisha loved it. It was so cute. So I did that one. I knit 2 outfits. I knit the Brillioche sweater that I think I showed you guys last time.
So you didn't have the name on it. So
yeah.
Here
so
that
there.
is.
I used this bamboo pop yarn. I'm going to knit another one. So the first one I did, I used the lighter pink for my main color. And then I did the name in this darker pink, I guess, red. And then my next one I'm going to do reverse. I'm going to do the sweater a size up in the dark red and then the name in the light. That way they'll have the name sweater for longer. I loved that pattern. It was really fun. I'm excited to knit it again. I've told everyone who I know that knits that they need to knit one for a baby in their life because they're really, really fun.
And a test.
Yes, they're really, really cute. And, okay, so I did that. I think I had already finished and showed the...
Little shorts or pants.
The Billy joggers I've definitely shown. And then I knit that baby vertebrae sweater that matched. Here's that outfit.
Bam! So cute.
Super cute. Finished that. That was all using, my green was Yarnable in a St. Patrick's Day colorway, and then my gray was Malabrigo Pearl. Malabrigo Arroyo in Pearl.
Wasn't it the Avocardio colorway?
Yeah, I believe it was. knit those 2 outfits. I knit a set of washcloths. I didn't get a picture of those. They're just washcloths. Then I knit a matching set of hats. I knit a baby Musselburgh and a Musselburgh for Dacia in the Taylor Swift Eras Tour colorway from Mustache Yarn.
Those are them.
Those are really cute and well received. And then I knit matching passy clips for each of the outfits. So I used some of the yarn from each of them to make a passy clip, and I plan to make a bunch more passy clips because 2 of my sister-in-laws are having babies this summer, and they both love those. So, I think that was all my baby shower gifts.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the phone. I didn't look at all the pictures.
You're good. What have you been knitting? What have you finished?
So I also gave away stuff. I had baby stuff on there. So I finished the baby Flax, the Flax DK that I was knitting. And that one was in the Michael's Loops and Threads yarn. There it is. And I did the embroidered name, and I was so happy. I freehanded it. It was really a lot easier than I thought it was going to be because I was really, really nervous about it. But I couldn't fit his first name, which was Samuel, on there, and it was too long when I was writing it, so I was like, I'll just put their last name. And so she was like, oh my gosh, I was looking for these everywhere, but they're so expensive. And I was like, I'll do it for free, girl. Here you go.
That's so sweet.
And so that was like a little sweat outfit. I didn't get a picture of the whole outfit together because she came to visit us at work. It's my work friend, and she brought him, and he's so cute and tiny and perfect, and I just loved it.
Precious.
And then I knit a baby hat for that outfit. I don't remember the name of the pattern. I'll put it out at the bottom of the screen. It's also on our Ravelry, which is linked below every time I do the links.
She's so good at that.
Here's the ribbed hat. It was in the same green that I did the joggers in, the Billy joggers. So cute. And then I crocheted a lanyard with, did I do it in the bamboo pop or did I do it in the loops and thread? I don't remember. But there's the crocheted lanyard I did for my friend who was going on a cruise and didn't like the feeling of the lanyard cords. And she was like, can you just like whip something up? She's like, it doesn't have to be like fancy. And I was like, okay. And so I found a pattern, I did it, and it was really cute.
Love that.
Yeah. So she took it on her cruise to Honduras. And
Ooh, I want to cruise to Honduras.
Yeah, I told her because she planned one of her excursions on her own outside of the cruise ship company, you know, which is fine. But she looked up something on the internet and like ordered like a tour on the internet from Honduras, and I was like, you're getting human trafficked. Like, she's like, she's like, the guy I talked to, I was like, you just talked to a guy, not a company? You're getting human trafficked. But she's back, so she did not.
She made it. Good for her.
So she did not get human trafficked. We love it.
Risky.
But those are the only 3 things I finished. I didn't really get to knit that much, but I did knit on stuff. So if you're new here and you don't know, I have a baby. If you're old here, the baby is annoying. No, it's just not annoying.
I can attest.
She's perfect, she's sweet. But it is like she's almost 11 months old, and she's real clingy, so I don't really get a lot of knitting time anymore. So the fact that I had those 3 things finished in a month was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I did get to knit a little bit more, but that's about all I finished.
I love that. I did 1 additional pair of socks. I finished them yesterday. My little brother Nate was home for spring break. I knit him a pair of socks while he was home using Knit Picks Static. It's a skein of yarn that Jamie sent me. I don't remember the colorway, and it's no longer available on the website, but I loved knitting with it, and those are here.
Boom.
That's my last FO.
That's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
We knit some stuff.
I am wearing a shawl. I forgot.
You are.
I'm wearing
I knit this.
Yeah, before I had the baby, I finished this one. Yep, this is the you know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't remember. It's by my favorite Joji Locat.
The Frank shawl.
Yes. By Joji Locatelli. Which I love this thing.
I love my Frank.
It's bright, it's crazy. I'm a big fan. But we were gonna be outside and I'm always cold, so I just picked up a couple shawls for my room and bought them.
Love.
And it's quite warm actually. Nice. Feels nice.
I haven't worn a shawl in ages.
I don't really wear them often either because I have a hard time styling them, but like when it's cold, it's really easy to just wrap myself up.
I wear them around the house.
Yeah, exactly.
And I used to wear them around the office more. I should just bring a couple to put on the back of my office chair and then I'd probably wear them.
Yeah.
Silly that I don't. I'm currently frogging a shawl. That's what I'm working on while we sit here. This is my Brioche mode.
By Sosuknits.
By Sosuknits. And it's a fun pattern. I just don't want to knit it anymore, so I'm frogging it.
And you want that yarn back.
I'm like exactly halfway and I haven't touched it, and I think I cast this on in like August or November. Probably August. And And I hadn't touched it in months. So now I'm
I
frogging
think it was even longer than that because I feel like it was before I had the baby.
I don't think it was. I checked. But let me check again because I can figure that information out. I haven't frogged it officially yet on Ravelry.
I was like, I can't believe I would have started. Oh, no, I guess I could. I guess I did when she was really little and she couldn't move around as much.
Because I have a picture working on it of her in her little
There
seat.
she is.
Eva.
So cute. A bug? Get it off of me.
Not a bug, I don't think. It was a bug.
No! This is why I don't like outside. Bugs love me.
Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah, I do remember I used to be able to knit when she was little.
Yeah. Do you remember what that was like?
Yeah, when she couldn't move around so much. Because she's like walking now.
Well, she's walking and she's always getting you sick.
Constantly.
Which affects your, and getting, like, I've been, like, missing for the last couple weeks because I'm, like, so busy that I do not have time to be sick right now. Ugh.
Yes.
So
And we're always sick. Always. Literally.
So annoying. Let's talk about some whips. Whip it out. What have you been working on?
Whip it out. Well, since you already raved about it, I guess I'll show my little brioche. We were just talking about this. We don't know if this is full brioche. Well, I don't. Because the pearl stitches are not brioche at all. It's just always a pearl. Is that like half brioche or is that normal in one color brioche in the round?
Yeah.
I don't know. If you know. So this is also in bamboo pop because I just copy Maddie. It's easier that way.
And I can do all the thinking and she just has
I just do it.
knit.
So I love this. My
before.
sister is also having a baby. We just have so many babies coming. So I think one of your brothers is due in May and the other's is in June, right?
Correct.
Mine's due in June. We'll have her baby in May because she'll always have a C-section and it'll always be a couple weeks early so she doesn't accidentally go into labor. But yeah, so this is for my baby Blake. Well, that's her name so far.
That's a good name.
Hear me out though. Blayke. Yeah, I know. We are Southern.
Why is there a Y?
I don't know.
The name's fine without the Y.
You would think, but so yeah.
It's a pretty name.
It is. It's fine. At first I said Blake, you know, and then she just like, and so I said, okay, no, we're fine.
If we love it, we'll
Blayke. That's fine. So I don't know what the middle name is.
To put on a sweater.
I mean, not really. It's just one extra.
Isn't it the same as Samuel when she said he couldn't fit?
Yeah, but that was a smaller sweater because this
okay.
is much bigger than the other one.
Like,
yeah,
the math ain't mathin'.
And the thing is, the M and the
Bigger.
S take up a lot more room in the like cursive than like a
fair.
Y,
L,
you know.
K, yeah, fair.
So yeah, I think it'll be fine. But I don't know what yarn I'm gonna embroider this with because I want it to be thicker than the bamboo pop even double. So I think I'm gonna do like I have some like pastel colors of like it's worsted.
I was gonna say hat yarn, like the bulky even. Yeah, I saw that.
I think I'm gonna do the worsted because I have so much of it in like and it's shiny and I've got different colors, pastel colors, so I could do 6 different colors.
Oh, for each letter.
Like a little rainbow across.
That's cute.
I think it would be really cute.
That'd be really cute with like the beige sweater.
Yeah.
It just is a good vibe.
Right, and my sister's much
beige
more
baby,
into that.
But also fun.
Yeah, we don't love, you know,
sad
beige baby, but that's okay.
Sad beige baby with some pizzazz.
Yeah, a little pizzazz.
Exactly.
But I love the pattern too. It's super, I don't know, like motivating, I guess.
Yeah, and it was fairly intuitive for me once I got like the rhythm. I just kind of went with it, and I don't know that I even looked at the pattern after I finished the raglan. I just did it.
And once you get into the raglan, like a few, like
you're just
maybe 3 increases, I feel like it's actually like it's pretty like you can read it pretty easily, especially if you're well versed in brioche.
We are.
We are.
That's why you're watching us.
Hello.
Because we're the subject matter experts.
And we're so smart.
As I frog this whole shawl.
But yeah, it's a really like cozy little sweater.
It's just so
it feels
squishy.
beachy though too.
Yes.
Like you could wear this to the beach. We live in Arkansas. It doesn't really get that cold, and these babies are all being born in the summer. So knitting sweaters is kind of silly.
No, but they're gonna fit when they're 6 months old and it's cold.
For sure.
Not that cold. But like you put JJ in a sweater all the time.
I mean, and I put JJ in this sweater and it fits her, and she's an 18-month clothes.
Oh wow.
She's a big girl.
She's a big one.
Yeah. But I was in 18-month clothes at like 5 months old. So
I need you to measure JJ's feet for me because I'm trying to know all these baby socks I'm going to talk about.
You're confused a little bit by sizing.
So like, this is another newborn baby sock. What I'm doing with baby socks is since I found out Daisha was pregnant, every time I've knit a pair of socks for one of my family members, I use the leftovers of that yarn to make a pair for Addie. So she'll have a drawer of socks that match the family.
So cute. This
is the yarn I just finished the socks for Nate. And these are Addie's socks of that yarn. So here's the knit pics. Static. I really like it. It's a stripe, but it's one of those stripes that doesn't, it's like very long repeats and doesn't exactly match up. So if you really want your socks to match, I don't think this is for you because I would have wasted a ton of yarn to get these to match. But I didn't care, so it didn't matter to me. But this is what I'm doing for the newborn size. The internet says this is an appropriate size for a newborn. I don't know anything about baby foot sizes, so I just feel like I should, if JJ's measuring 18 months though, her foot would be...
No, her foot's about the right size because she'll be 1 at the end of April.
Yeah.
And she's wearing like 12-month socks and
shoes. I guess
shoes.
I should just buy some socks.
You can have some JJs. I have newborn sizes and just 6 to 12 and 12 to 24.
Because I want a variety of sizes. I also, okay, this makes me really happy. This is just a bag of minis and leftovers for baby socks. I found the yarn that I used 3 years ago, nearly 4 years ago. When I knit those matching Christmas socks for my entire family, I found the yarn.
Where she had 17 pairs of socks.
I did knit literally like 15 or 17 pairs of matching socks. I got tubes, so I only knit the heels, toes, and cuffs. That's still a lot of knitting.
A lot of knitting.
But I'm gonna knit Addie a pair, and I don't know how much this is. I'm just gonna split it in half and figure it out.
That's a common colorway from Yorkshire Spinners,
but no,
right?
It was Cascade.
It was Cascade?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't want to order more.
Yeah.
Because I'm cheap. But this will be enough for Addie. And then her mom and dad have the socks already and she'll have little matching socks. So I want to figure out what an appropriate size for a 6-month baby is.
For Christmas.
Yeah. Because she'll be about 6 months at Christmas. Or exactly 6 months, depending. But anyway, somebody commented on my Instagram story today and told me they do 40 stitches for 3 months old. That feels huge to me because I do 48 stitches for Wesley and he's 7. He has small feet.
Have a real loose gauge.
But, like, I feel like there would be more than an 8-stitch difference. But I don't know. So I just need input and opinions. So tell me if you make baby/toddler socks, what do you do? What's your go-to method? And if nobody tells me, I'm just going to become Ravelry's baby toddler sock expert and write some patterns because there's no information available on this.
Well, I think that the problem is that baby feet are so diverse. So it's really kind of very specific to the baby because like JJ has fat little feet, but they're also really short. And they've always been that way. But you see some newborn babies' feet, their feet are freaking long.
Yeah.
They're like 3 inches of little feet.
And Addie's measuring big. So like she's going to come out a big girl. So I just need to figure out exactly.
They always said that about JJ too, and she came out at 6 pounds.
Yeah, but
it was because she had long legs.
Yeah, but didn't you and Addie and JJ's dad, weren't you guys smaller babies?
No, he was 10 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And I was 7 pounds 7 ounces.
Okay, because Malachi was like 9
baby.
and Daisha was like 8 or 9.
Ooh. No, he was 10, and I was 3 weeks early, so I would have been that big. Yeah. But I was 3 weeks early because there was an earthquake, and I came out.
Earthquake shook you right out of there.
She said no.
Anyway, that was a lot of baby foot discussion, but I welcome your input if you have any of it. And if you don't, thanks for nothing.
Yeah, rude. Read up and comment. Jesus.
Somebody do some damn research.
Damn it. What else you got, friend?
I've got some stuff. What else I got? Okay, I'll show. I just cast this on today. I don't know if you guys follow Knit California on Instagram, but
this is going to drive people nuts that this is moving so much. It's okay. Deal with it.
Stop watching. Just listen. She's been posting a Kindle case that she's knitting, and I wanted to copy her, so I did.
I love that yarn so much.
This is Sweet Georgia yarn. It's sock yarn. I'm holding it double, so I just split it in about half. But then there was a giant knot in the middle, so one of these is like 60 and one of these is like 50 grams. It's a hefty cake. But I just kind of finagled. I cast on a random number and hoped it worked, and it did because my Kindle fits. I did like a whatever the cast on is for toe up socks. Look how cute. Love. Whatever the cast on is for toe up socks, I did that there. Like the Turkish cast on or something. And then I'm just knitting in the round. I'm using size 3 needles. And I think I cast on like 26 wraps, which would have been 52 stitches on fingering hot double. I don't know. Knit California is going to have a pattern, and you'll get better info from her because I'm winging it. That fell right into my knitting bag, that pine cone thing.
That's okay.
Gumball.
Spiky ball.
I'm shaking the table. But yeah, I love this. I'm just going to knit and knit until I get to down here. And then I'm going to do an ICord bind off. And then I'm going to put a little snap, I think.
Are you not going to put a little window in it? Nope.
No, because it's just like a
for when you carry it around.
Yeah, for like when I toss it in my purse. Yeah.
There you go.
It's not going to stay on it all the time.
The protection.
Because
Didn't you make one before?
Yeah, it didn't fit.
For a different one. For a different Kindle.
It was for the same Kindle, but it was like ribbed and then I made it too short and I just did a bad job. And I was overthinking it and I tried to have like a flap situation that pulled forward and it was just really bad. But yeah, I have my Kindle just in a clear case and I like it like that with my pop socket. So I read it with that or like on my Kindle stand thing. So I don't need something all the time, but just when I carry it about.
We love it. I have, that's a yarn I'm stepping on, in one of my, not Kimbers.
Pretty much so, everything.
And this is a Barley Pearls bag. I have a hat that I started and just haven't knit on in a long time, but it's with Kimber's Cozy Creations minis. It's going to be a baby Musselburgh for JJ, if it still fits her. She hates them, so it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to knit all 12 because I have lots of sets of this. So I've got this color, and where's the other one at? That's this one, and this color. It'll be like a two-toned little hat, and I just have the little penis head part.
Great.
What it looks like.
That's appropriate.
I mean, that's the
Ysolda
butthole.
Teague is quaking.
And this is this is the tip.
How are we monetized?
I don't know. You know, we did get unmonetized from a couple episodes ago, but it was because JJ was running around in her little walker and she played a song.
Music.
Yeah.
Love that.
But yeah, I don't know how we get monetized. I truly don't know.
I don't know what they're thinking.
I don't know. I don't think they watch past like a minute. They're like, you're fine. You're talking about knitting? How bad could it be?
Watch. Hold my beer.
So yeah, and this other project, the Brillioche, is also in a Barley Pearls bag.
Such a cute
It's
bag.
my favorite one. It's our first one. This is the Christen Cats and Rainbows bag. I'm obsessed with it. It's so cute. I love a cat bag, and so here's my other cat bag. Cat bag. We love a cat bag.
We do.
I have one more project to show, and then I don't think I really knit on anything else. So
I have two more.
let me show you this because
Ooh,
look,
look at her.
Okay, so this is the Geo Gradient Shawl, right? That's what it's called. By Sosuknits and Stephen West.
I finally blocked mine.
I have finally finished one side. So this is also in Kimber's Cozy Creations.
The only yarn you knit with.
The only yarn I knit with ever in life. Look how beautiful she is. This
so
is
vibrant.
one side. It's so vibrant. It's so cool. Like, I feel like the color effect is like really, really cool. It's just kind of like, it's like in like a lightning strike. I don't know.
Love it.
But yeah, so I did the, was it Pinky Queen or something like that center part?
Yeah.
And now I've picked up on this side, so it's all bunched up because I like to knit on bunched up needles.
Same.
But I'm doing the section 2, or clue 2, I should say, of the other side. So I'm, I don't know.
Your ends look horrendous.
I think I'm a quarter. I know.
Oh,
I thought I could like weave in some ends. A couple weeks ago, I brought it to work, and I was like, I'll just weave in ends while I'm reading and stuff like that because I have to like read a lot for my job. But I was like furious that week. I was so angry that I kept like, I was reading and then I was like, you know, sometimes it'd be like that. But I'm about a quarter of the way through the first, or clue 2, and then I'll go on to clue 3, and then I'll pick up and do all of clue 4.
Love it.
So I really, really like it. I find it very enjoyable to knit this. And I think it looks so cool. I'm just kind of enthralled by the colors. I love them.
They're really cool.
And she put this kit together for me. We were talking about it being like a bi pride shawl, and then I like changed up the vibes.
And now it's not by pride, which is kind of homophobic.
It is actually homophobic. This is the homophobic flag. That's actually just the American flag.
It's the Confederate flag.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. Okay.
I went to a coffee shop one time, and I think of this story often.
I do too.
And I walked in and I ordered a large hot latte with oat milk.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, sorry, we don't have oat milk. We have soy. Is that okay?" And I said, "No." And then I walked out.
She said, "I will never be going there again. They're
I never
homophobic."
have. I never have returned, and I did. I texted so many people, and I said,
"Can't go there. Homophobic.
Don't go to that new coffee shop downtown. They don't have oat milk.
They don't love
because
the
they
gays.
hate the gays.
They hate them. In fact, yeah.
It's in downtown Conway. If you come here, I'll tell you which ones not to go to.
I literally was at where was I? I was getting coffee somewhere, and I had ordered oat milk, and they called out my drink. I think it was at Starbucks on Oak Street, Oak Bucks. And they called out my drink, and they said something, with oat milk. And the guy was like, "What the hell is oat milk?" And they're like, "Oh, it's what you. It's a straight white man." And he was like, "What the hell is oat milk? How do you milk an oat?" I was like, "Your joke is old." Like, I was like, I didn't even answer him. The person behind the counter was like, "Oh, it's, for people who can't drink regular milk." And I was like, "And gays. I can drink regular milk."
Did you say that?
I
wish
choose
you
not
you
to.
Didn't.
I mean, the person talking was definitely gay or in the queer community. Ooh. Sorry. So I didn't feel like I needed to, but the other person did not need to be dealt with. I was just like, Okay, anyway, that's all I knit. I do want to cast on some washcloths or face cloths for my mom for Easter. I made her an Easter basket. So
Cute.
Really
cute.
That.
Yeah.
I need to add those in there, or even dish towels or something like that, because I need to bulk up the bottom.
Feel ya.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have some other things.
Do it. Talk. Here, I'll unwind.
Things. Go for it. It's 2 row stripes. It's going back and forth. Okay. So I'm just alternating balls.
I gotcha. Let's alternate our balls.
Alternate those balls.
Change
Okay,
up.
2 things I'm knitting on. One I cast on yesterday just for some good old movie knitting because I had the urge to go to a movie yesterday. I didn't go, but I might go tonight. This is a wallop cowl. I've knit the wallop before, and she's winding the yarn that's gently grazing my knee as she winds it.
Sexy.
And I hate it.
I'm like, "Oh, that feels nice." You're like, "No, never. Don't touch me."
I knit the wallop ages ago out of leftovers from Sosuknits. And then I have this bag from Jessel and Janice that she made for me. And it's like a scrappy bag, which I adore. The moment I got this bag, I filled it with my self-striping scraps. Just a bunch of them, random striping scraps. And I put them in there with the intention of making a wallop cowl. And that was probably 2 years ago, maybe more. But then yesterday I went and grabbed it and cast on a wallop cowl, which is such a cute pattern. Highly recommend. It's a really easy cowl. She has a transition row between colors, and it's written to have equal blocks for an advent. I just use it scrappy every time I've done it, the one time.
Every time
I've done it once. But now I've cast on twice, so I'm an expert. But I literally just cast on however many stitches and then just knit around and around, and I'm not going to do the little yarn over transition because I'm just going to knit until the yarn runs out and then grab a different ball. So I can be knitting on this in the dark, and this will be my movie knitting for the foreseeable future. And this first one is Night Owl Fibers. That's for sure Night Owl Fibers.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love it. I'm using a
color.
US 4 on fingering yarn. And that's that. Just cast it on last night, so not much progress there. And then this is my favorite project I'm working on right now. This is my Zipper Light. This bag's by my mom. My Kelly E. McD bag. It's my favorite bag. And I'm knitting my Zipper Light out of Knit Picks Stroll Tweed. My main color is Welly's Heather, and then I have 3 greens I'm using as an accent color.
Oh, so good.
I have split for sleeves. I've finished one sleeve except for the cuff, and I've blocked it. I blocked it mid-sleeve to check my gauge. My gauge did not change at all before and after blocking, which is fascinating. But look at her. Okay.
But you just steam blocked or you wet blocked?
I wet blocked. Yeah, full wet blocked. So there'll be a zipper here, in this part to close that up together. So freaking cute. And then the sleeve, look at my greens. Look at my greens. I just need a cuff.
Put it up close so they can see the difference between those top 3. Oh, it's so good.
I love it. I did 2-inch stripes of each color at the bottom, and then I'm going to do a 2-inch cuff back in black. The cuff at the neck is 1 by 1, so I guess I'll do 1 by 1 on the wrist.
And do you feel like you're going to fold it over? Because it looks so good.
I was gonna ask you if you thought I should make it exactly like this.
See, that's what I want to do with the baby sweater, because that it just looks so good. But nobody ever writes it that way, so I wonder if there's a reason why we don't.
I don't think it would be as stretchy.
Oh.
I don't know why I think that, but I don't feel like because of this, the join part. Oh no, is that a loose stitch or is that a fuzzy? Okay, it's just a fuzzy. It's okay.
It's a name.
Anywho, I love this thing. I have the second sleeve going. I gotta find a smaller needle to do the cuff.
She's down.
She's gone forever. And then I'll pick up the body. I love it. The pattern, the zipper light is by Petite Knit. It is written for DK, so I adjusted for fingering. So I'm knitting the numbers of the largest size in the pattern, but it's measuring like a 2X-ish. I was hoping it would grow a little more with blocking. I love stuff like oversized on me, especially sweatshirts. But I do like the fit right now, so we're vibing. It's gonna be good. And yeah, I'm knitting on it some. I just really am only knitting baby stuff. I should make a matching one for Addie.
Oh my gosh. So cute.
Gotta figure the math out on that. Anywhoosies,
You
love
just use the shape, really.
Yeah.
You know, at that point.
love this sweater.
Oh, look.
So much. Oh, beautiful. That's all my whips. So
Wow. We sure did whip it out.
we whipped it out.
Get our merch.
We have merch in our spreadshirt shop. Sometimes that's on sale. We don't have any control over that.
Yeah. That's not our business.
Nope.
It literally is.
Literally is quite our business. I've got acquisitions though. Do you have acquisitions?
I do. I
got
sure
some
do.
stuff. You only purchase and knit with Kimber's Cozy
That's
Creation now?
me. Yeah, that's why we have a
Exclusively?
coupon code.
Sponsored by Kimber. WSM10
Kimber.
for 10% off.
Yeah.
that coupon
WSM.
code?
Yeah. Get some Kimber's Cozy Creations.
We love Kimber.
So I subscribed to her Year in Color. I actually, before I had the baby, shut off all my subscriptions because I was like, I have a baby. I can't knit. I don't knit. But I also need money, you know? So I was like, I'm just not gonna have yarn anymore. It's fine. And then I was like, that's a
not
lie.
like suffering though, because you should see the yarn in this girl's room. She has yarn.
Talk about it.
It's just not new incoming yarn.
Yeah, and so these are January, February, and March from the Year in Color. I got the skeins in
God, I thought you bought those
DK.
together.
No, it's a fade, a year-long fade.
I should have done that.
And so she has tonal like this, and she has variegated, and they go together. So like you could get both months or both clubs. They're the same club, but one's variegated and one's not. And you could have like, you know, two skeins that like one's variegated, one's tonal every month. Or you can get just one of the clubs like I did.
Are you gonna knit them all together?
I want to knit,
Like a blanket?
so no, I'm gonna knit a sweater with stripes, and I've already got like the plan. I'm color blocked, okay? So I'm gonna knit a boxy sweater that's just a front panel, a back panel, and sleeves. And the front panel is gonna have 3 colors, and it's gonna be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Back, same thing, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and those, and then the sleeves are gonna be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So it's like a whole, like on each side. It's gonna be crazy rainbow colors.
Fun.
Yeah, I just have to figure out if I'm gonna buy a pattern or if I'm just gonna knit it, because like that seems really easy. I just have to take measurements and just knit
measure
it.
and get
Exactly.
gauge. Like, you're good.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I like an oversized. It's gonna be boxy. I feel like it's gonna be so cute. And then so I needed to get a solid for the the neck, the bottom, and the sleeves. And then like I think a gray.
Like a Malibu Pearl, like that light gray.
I think a Kimber's Cozy Creations.
Obviously.
Gray, like JJ's blanket gray.
Well, that one's blue.
Yeah. Is it blue? It's blue gray.
Very much blue.
Oh. I forgot.
Speaking of JJ's blanket, I knit on it, or I crochet it occasionally. It has been a year since JJ was born, essentially.
Almost.
But
to make a really good one-year birthday present.
Every month I tell myself this is the month I'm gonna finish that blanket, and then I pick it up and crochet a little, and my wrist hurts for a week.
Yeah.
So like I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong with crochet, or I just need to suck it up. Because, like, I just want to have that thing done for JJ. But, yeah, it exists. Yeah. I'll show you guys next podcast. Didn't bring it today. Maybe I'll finish it.
Next podcast will be her 1-year birthday.
Are we assuming we only podcast monthly
now?
Yeah,
we're assuming that. I mean, and then you'll be at Hosier, and I'll be having a 1-year-old birthday. Not Hosier. Who are you saying? Hosier next month? Yeah.
Are you having a party that weekend?
Yeah, on her birthday. It's Saturday. No, it's okay.
That's a bummer.
But it's like, it's just family. She doesn't have any friends. She's a baby.
She has my mom.
You're her friend. Well, your mom's invited, obviously.
Great. I'm just gonna miss it. My daughter's birthday.
Your son.
Actually,
she's your son.
I'm a deadbeat
Hey, you're better than her actual dad.
Like, just FaceTime me. I'll be there, kind of. Damn.
Yeah, it's okay, because it's a 1-year-old's birthday party.
That makes me sad.
She's not even gonna remember it.
Yeah. But I'm gonna remember it.
I know. Well, also, it's my sister's. It's her baby shower. It's a secret baby shower. It's a combo event.
Oh, I hate combo events.
Yeah, it's
I don't want to be there.
It's also like, you know, it's just like it's literally going to be just our family.
Yeah, no, you're good.
And maybe your mom, if she wants to come, which I don't know.
She will. I'll get JJ a present, and I'll take JJ for our own party. But yes, I am seeing Hosier at the end of next month. We'll talk more about that in the live section.
Yeah. Well, what did you buy? Because you have lots of stuff.
I did. I went to Eureka Springs Fiber Fest. You can take over on that one.
Take over.
Let me finish. Went to Eureka Springs Fiber Fest and I did some yarn shopping. Unrelated to yarn, I bought a new cup. I bought the Brewmate 40-ounce cup. And I love this thing, the Era's 40. Love this cup. So that's one purchase. I paid like $50 for that cup.
We are water cup girlies.
That's my favorite one though, because at the top, one, it tastes really good because the straw is metal, so there's no plastic sitting in my water, and it like comes apart really easily clean, but you can also like twist the top part here and it seals, and then it like doesn't leak. There's no water coming out of that. And I really love that, but you can also like twist it part of the way and then it like pops right off to clean it, which is so much cleaner than the other 40-ounce cups I have. Anyway, love that purchase. And then I bought some yarn. I stopped at the Fangirl Fibers booth. I got something for Christen, and then I got her wool wash. It was her like show fragrance, signature fragrance. This smells amazing. I don't know how to describe it.
It smells so good.
But
it's like a little bit floral, but really just sweet.
Sweet.
Not like floral.
But not like sickly sweet. Like
it's natural sweet. It's like a natural sweet.
It's called
Camellia
sugar.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I love it.
I literally read a book called Karma Camellia.
But I bought it anyway. And then everything else I bought with Addie Jade in mind because I only knit for a baby now.
Yeah. Not her son.
So
her niece.
Oh, I got this skein of Whimsical You. And this is in the colorway, everything's fingering weight. This is her 75-25 base in the colorway Pink Lemonade. And then I got this mini in Creme de Violet to go with it.
So cute.
The lighting got kind of crazy, so sorry, but it's pink.
Put it up, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you can, there it is. Anyway, love that little set. I think it'll be probably a sweater with like the little pink cuff situation, but I don't know exactly. I just love it.
It is really pretty.
Just love it. Then this skein might be for me, but I did stay on there for a long time. This dye is Amber Waves. It's dyed in canvas. I'd never heard of this one. Kansas.
I was like, it's canvas? That's so cool.
That's crazy. It's her silky sock base, so it's 60% merino, 20% silk, 20% nylon, and it's in Spearmint Speckle is the colorway. And this shit feels so soft. Like,
this shit feels so soft.
It's so good. I walked around, I did 2 laps around the entire event because me and Jen and Marianna, we did our first lap and we didn't buy anything. We all like wouldn't let each other buy anything. We just scoped it all out to make a plan. And then our second lap, we got to make our purchases. And I stopped at this booth like 12 times to feel this yarn and to pick my color. And this is what I went with.
Well, obviously that was knit or dyed for you, you know?
Yeah, but the speckles are so good.
Yeah.
And they're like purple and kind of like a burnt orange and some blue. And then, I just love it. So
Can you guys hear the sirens?
Might be for the baby. Yeah, someone's coming to get us.
It's me.
And then anytime I go to an event where Homestead Fibers is, I will be buying something Homestead Fibers did.
Also another Arkansas dyer. So Whimsical You was Arkansas.
And then Homestead is Arkansas. Sorry for the crinkles. She had this little Easter set, and this is going to be socks for Addie Jade. Every single one of them. So it's
They're so good. I love that pack.
I don't think it has a name, but the colorways, I'll kind of show you and then I'll tell you the colors. So beautiful. Rosalie, Melanie, Allison, Zeke. I can't see the orange one. This one's Billy.
Let's name
this one's
ourselves.
Harriet, and this one's Dean. Yeah.
George.
What should we call? We should call the orange one George.
George. It's George.
It's Natalie.
Natalie. Sorry, Natalie.
Anyway, crinkle. But I love this mini set. I love the Homestead Fibers base. Her colors are always so vibrant. She's so freaking sweet. So yeah, those are all gonna go in my baby sock.
If you didn't know, the Arkansas knitting community is huge. It's huge. We have a lot of really good dyers here. I mean, for like a small little state in the like warmer states, you know?
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of good yarn and a lot of good like
not
knitting.
as much as Texas. So
well, Texas is huge, so like they don't count.
Yeah.
They're like a different country. They wish.
We do have a good, they wish.
I
we
mean,
do have a good knitting community.
Per capita, like, I mean, we have a tiny
It's because
community.
we're here, actually, I think is what makes the knitting community
I'm thinking
good.
like Casey Applewhite and like Lori. Like, just,
we
like,
have good knitters.
And yeah.
I like knitting in Arkansas. I like Arkansas. I like knitting. It's good stuff happening. That's all I purchased. I'm very proud of myself. We had barbecue at a barbecue restaurant that was really, really yummy. And what else did we do? We did stop for pie on the way back. There's, I'll be going there again Friday. Because I'm going to Jasper to go camping this weekend. I'll talk about that in the live section, but I'll stop for pie again. It was so good. I don't remember what the place was called, but gosh darn, that was a good piece of pie.
It's called pie.
It should be. That's all
Pie.
they have like actual
I love
regular
pie.
food. I think they had like steaks and stuff.
You ever seen the movie Michael?
No. I haven't.
Andy McDowell singing pie, pie, me oh my.
Oh,
I love
goodness.
pie.
Love that.
Somebody knows. There you go.
Somebody knows.
I finished 2 sections for you.
I
I'm
love
the
that
best.
for me.
I want to show you or show everybody what you got me, which is great.
I did get you a
because
thing.
I love this. Do you see it?
Can you see it?
Can you see it?
Can you see it?
It's a Taylor Swift bag, and it's
Really
really,
cute.
really nice quality.
I got it at the Fangirl Fibers stand, and when I bought it, the dyer from Fangirl Fibers was there, and I was telling her about you because she was asking me about Taylor Swift.
Purchase shop.
And I was like, oh, it's for my friend Christen. And then we were talking about Taylor Swift. And then after I talked about you for too long, like more than she wanted to know about you, she was like, Christen and I would get along. And I was like, oh my God, follow her on Instagram.
I think I already follow her because I have bought the Pokemon bag from her.
Yeah.
That's where I got that.
She's sweet.
Is she also in Arkansas? She's not, right?
No. What is happening? Christen ruined my shawl.
I didn't do it. Twas not me. I did make a purchase from Nitpicks, but it's not here, so I'll talk about it next month when we podcast again. Where did it go?
Never mind. I have to do this first.
Ah.
I'm gonna make a purchase from Nitpicks because Christen just told me everything's 25% off. So
It
I'm
was,
gonna
yeah.
go buy more pink yarn.
Let's
If
hope.
anyone dyes yarn and they're watching this, I have no pink yarn and I'm having a niece and I'm gonna knit pink things. So if you want to send us some yarn,
That's pink.
I'll take pink
I
yarn.
mean, you know I have pink yarn. They always give me the pink yarn, so I
yeah,
have it.
but that's what I'm saying is like, Kimber, I don't have any. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nobody's ever sent me pink yarn because I'm a hater.
Yeah.
But now there's a baby girl named after me, so I'm gonna be knitting everything pink.
Yep. But she's
And-
not really a pink girl, right? She's gonna be like a mauve
We're like
pink.
Mobby situation, but
Like
every
a
shade of pink
lighter
is in that
pink.
room.
Yeah.
But like,
We love it. That's the vibe.
The light
so-
got good. Hold on, the light got good. Let me show you again. This is the set I got here. The light got so good. Pop off. I love that. And then this was my Amber Waves. That is so much better. Such a better representation. Look at its butt.
Look at its butt.
The speckles are so good. Sometimes when I say stuff, I think about the fact that my mom watches every episode.
You love it.
And like I would say that to my mom too. No hesitation.
But like, would you want your mom to watch you say it on the internet?
I want the view. Let me open this and show you. Crinkle, crinkle. Look how good these are.
My, me oh my, hello pie.
Like, oh, that's like
Beautiful.
yellowier
Oh,
out of the
kinda smelly.
package. Oh, is it?
It smells like eggs.
Ew.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh,
Sometimes,
it's probably because it's
yeah.
Easter. She probably dyed it like eggs.
Easter egg collection. Smells like eggs.
I dyed it while I hard boiled
Sometimes
eggs.
just like some colors smell more like eggs.
Especially the Easter ones.
Lori's never smell like eggs.
No, pop off Lori. Neither do Kimber's. Send me yarn. I'm totally kidding.
I love it. Shameless plug.
I'm kidding, but I actually would send you my address if you messaged me. I'm being silly, but I really am just like shopping for pink yarn all the time right now. I'm kind of enjoying that. So
You could come to my house and shop like I shop at yours.
Like you would give away yarn. You're so attached to every skein.
I do give away yarn, but I am like a little
You've
bit of a
already
hoarder.
given it all away.
I've got a little hoard happening.
You love your pinks. You're not gonna give me your pinks.
I don't even have that many pinks.
Exactly, so
I
you're
do.
not gonna give me
I
any.
do. I just, you know.
I'm gonna get on Knitpicks and buy my own yarn. But
Yeah, also, they do a really good solid if you're
yeah.
looking for something solid, especially for like baby gear. You
That's
know?
what I'm trying to figure out. What else I want to knit? What do you guys like to knit for a baby? She's gonna be born in June.
A romper. She needs a romper.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of the little ruffle rompers
Yeah.
that I did for Emily, my other niece.
Mhm.
And then
The ruffle dress was really cute. I put that on JJ.
yeah, the ruffle dress, some stuff like that. But then I also just like, I don't know what else to knit for her. That's like summer appropriate.
The pickles romper that I knit for JJ. Love it. Love the pattern. Super cute. And it's with sport, so it goes a little faster. Or DK. I think it's actually written for DK. And it's supposed to be written for cotton. I could
probably
say,
knit it with Bamboo Pop.
Yeah,
I have several
knitting
skeins of that.
Bamboo or cotton for the baby is a lot better than knitting the wool.
I've been doing a lot of that so far.
Yeah.
The only wool I've done for the baby has been socks and then the little Billy Jogger set.
As the person who's had to wash the stuff that babies poop on, the cotton is such a better option.
Yeah. I plan to.
Or bamboo.
I've done a few things because, I mean, I'm going to have, like, odds and ends, but I'm trying to make sure everything I do is easy to wash, and I'm also going to make it, like, known. They can throw all the baby stuff I've knit in, like, a laundry bag, and I'll wash it when I come over if they're more comfortable. But they're used to, they have a lot of my socks, so I'm just going to tell them, launder it like you do those. Ideally, don't put it in the dryer, but it's not the end of the world if you do. Do you want to wind one of these?
Yeah, you know I do. I love to touch yarn with my fingers.
Yeah, so I think now we jump into books. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are we done talking about yarn?
Well, yeah. Is the books next? Yes,
We
books
usually do
next.
books and then life, because some people care about books, but not us.
Do you think more people care about books than they do about us? Or is it the opposite?
I
You'd
think it's
rather
probably-
us do life first?
I
Leave a
think-
question.
Yeah,
or
if you would leave a question.
question everything.
Christen doesn't wind fast enough, and now I have to wait for her.
Are you serious? I'm so fast. I'm like way faster than everybody else in the whole world. I'm the fastest. Shut up. Look. Now I'm too rough.
Oh shit! Good job.
Anyway, I'm not competitive. I'm really chill, honestly. It's a normal thing. I don't need to be the best. That's fine.
It's no big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Oh,
It's
God,
not
we're
a
gonna tangle
big
us.
deal. We're just gonna twist.
What if I just got and walked around you?
Here we go. Okay, wait, hold on.
You're making it worse.
No, I'm doing it the right way.
I was doing it.
I'm doing it the right way. And I'm better at it. I'm really fast. And I'm not gonna cry. Anyway, books.
Let's talk about what we read.
Yeah.
If in the future you'd like us to do life and then books, tell us. But I think our order's fine. I've read like 6 or 7 books. The last time we filmed was February 24th. So, let me look at my Goodreads again. I haven't read as much as I feel like I usually do, but I've also read a fine amount. Reading is fine. I'm ahead of my schedule, I believe. My goal this year is to read 100 books, and I have currently read 28. So that's where I'm at. Let's see. See if I remember anything I've read. I DNF'd like 3 things because I was just not feeling it.
Yeah.
I read Bittersweet, How Sorrow and Longing Make Us Whole by Susan Cain. My dad told me to read that after I read that other nursing home one I don't remember the name of. And the first one was incredible. Bittersweet, I gave it 3 stars. It was good, but it wasn't as like profound as the first one. But I read it. Then I finished up my Alice Feeney kick. I read His and Hers by Alice Feeney. I don't remember anything about that book. I gave it 3 stars.
It was
and I'm
a
gonna
book. You
stick
read
with
it.
that because I have no thoughts of that one.
I'm stuck in here. There we go.
Then I read some Daniel Hurst books. I read We Used to Live Here by Daniel Hurst. That one I gave 3 stars. Again, it was fine. I felt like the twist was one of those twists where like I didn't guess it, but it's because the twist was completely unrelated to the story and off the wall, and like
I read one of those too.
I didn't love it because it was like I get through this whole book and I'm like, oh, okay, it's set up to make you think that like this married couple killed their son like 30 years ago in this house, and there's like
But
they
really, it
find,
was
like,
the barber that you
but
didn't
really,
know about.
But really, the book's not about who killed the son at all. It's about a husband who murdered his mistress. But
Oh.
the mistress doesn't come up until like the very last chapter, and they spend the entire book talking about these parents who the whole town thinks murdered their son because he went missing like 30 years ago, and there was like writing on the wall of him being like, "Help me, XOXO Gossip Girl."
I was like, oh my god, not really? That's crazy.
It was crazy.
That was before Gossip Girl even
Yeah.
existed. Stupid. You know I'm smart. Did you know that?
I believe you.
Okay.
Don't you really? Yeah, and then in the end, it's like the police roll up, and you think it's because they're gonna arrest these parents finally who murdered their son 30 years ago, and it's like actually there's a mistress buried in the backyard, and he murdered her today. And it's like, well, what was the rest of this book about then? I don't know. I gave away a lot, I think, just then. Hope you didn't want to read
Spoiler
that.
alert. About 15 seconds ago.
You should just edit that in.
Yeah.
Then I read The Couple at Table 6 by Daniel Hurst. That one I listened to in the car on the way back from Fayetteville with my mom. And it was weird. And it was very similar. It was like all of the crimes kept happening and you didn't really even know what we were talking about in the book because, like, it made it seem like everybody killed everyone.
And they did.
But also, who are we investigating? And I don't even remember how it ended. I think, like, I don't know. I didn't love them. I feel like they could have earned 2 stars from me, but I gave them 3 because it was a book and I read it.
Right, you didn't DNF it.
Yeah, 2 stars.
That's a 1.
Yeah, DNF for me is 1 star.
But you hate it when it's a 2.
Yeah, if it's a 2, I am adamantly opposed to it. I was like, I finished it, but I'm mad that I did, basically. Anyway, Daniel Hurst probably won't read again. Or I might if I forget that I said this and one of his books comes up later.
Oh, I thought you were saying Danielle. It's Daniel?
Daniel. It was a man.
A man.
He's
Well,
probably
that's
white.
Little name like Hurst? Yeah.
Then I read Don't Forget Me by Rhea Frey. Gave that one 3 stars. It's ironic that the book is called Don't Forget Me because I've completely forgotten the book. I don't know.
Is it ironic or is that just your style? Is it now just that's the name of the game?
I remember liking that one.
Okay.
I read that on my Kindle. The Daniel Hurst ones I listened to. I also don't think I liked the narrator that much. It was a book. I read it. And then I read You Can't Hide by Emily Shiner. You just touched my back.
On camera? Oh my gosh. Demonetized.
Oh my god.
Gay.
I dropped my yarn.
I dropped my yarn. Pick it up. Pick it up. I dropped my yarn. I'm sorry. It's a Miss Rachel thing.
Great. You Can't Hide by Emily Shiner. I don't remember what that's about. No recollection, actually. But I gave it 3 stars. And then...
No recollection. 3 stars.
I never read it. And I was listening to The Paris Apartment by Lucy something. And I think I'm going to DNF that. I'm like a little under halfway. And it's taken me like probably 10 days to get this far.
Now, why do I know that's Lucy Foley and I've never read it?
Love that for you. The sun got really bright. And the rest of it like this. I can't see anything.
I'm just gonna be blind. It's fine. I'm gonna close my eyes. This is good.
I'm just like not vibing with it. It's another where I'm like, I don't really understand what are we even doing? What are we talking about?
What are we doing?
And
who's Steve? You at the end of a book. Who's Steve? That is the main character.
That's even Christen knew.
Yeah.
That's my toxic trait. Anyway.
I find
the one I'm reading on my Kindle right now though is called like We Are Liars or no, it's not that one. It's not that one. It's something Liars, but it's not the one you didn't like. I
didn't like either of them.
The Lies Among Us.
Okay, different.
By Sarah Durst. I don't know if you can see that because of the sun, but this one's really good. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of trippy, but also I've been reading it at night before I go to bed when I'm
seats are like
not sober. So I don't really know.
Hi, both hi.
Exactly.
Okay, is that it?
That's all I've read.
Okay, so I'm not going to talk about all my books that much because I read quite a few.
Oh, she's just trying to one-up me right now by saying she read more than me.
Because I'm fast.
That's embarrassing.
Actually, I physically read 3 books. I'm so proud of myself.
Okay.
Most of these are audio.
Oh, like paper?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Where do you even get a paper book?
My library at home because I have a lot of I have not read these yet.
I didn't even know they still did that.
Yeah,
I thought we were just in like Kindle era.
I don't even have a Kindle.
Amazon, send her a Kindle. Amazon, if you're watching,
I would like a Tesla.
Oh, and a Kindle Paperwhite.
Yeah, my Tesla would not be as gay as my Subaru. So no, never mind. I'll have a Paperwhite. I'll have a Paperwhite instead. Thank you.
Instead of a Tesla.
Can I have it be pink? Okay.
Anyway.
So, starting off strong, I read P is for Peril by Sue Grafton. It was a book. I read it. Actually, the further along in that series, it's like the alphabet murder series goes, it's getting better and better. I really
like she's a better writer?
I mean, at P, this is like, what, book 20 or something like that? I don't know how far that is in the alphabet. I think it's like 18, 17, 16.
16.
There we go. I knew it.
That's the 5th letter you guessed.
Letter? Yeah. You're so smart.
I'm stupid.
It's okay, you're pretty. The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. I actually liked it.
I hated that book.
liked it because it confirmed a lot of things that I just knew were real, you know? And so, like, because I was like, you know, Britney Spears was, like, a thing when I was young. And it was like, I was like, no way was she a virgin with Justin Timberlake. Like, that's crazy. That girl lost it when she was, like, 10. No, that's horrible. Why would I say that? She was 14, though. She said it in the book. Still horrible because the guy was, like, 19. Really? Anyway, I read it. I liked it. I just knew that she had had an abortion. I just knew it. I knew it. And so she confirmed it. And I was like, yay. Not yay, but
yay,
like,
for that.
At least I just kind of thought the book was not going to have like any actual substance,
like actual
but
tea.
it did. Yeah. And I was like, okay. Karma Camellia by Nancy Warren. So that is the Flower Shop series by the same lady who did the Vampires and Knitting series.
Love that.
And she's like a witch and she owns a flower shop and she has a coven and there's a werewolf there. Venom by Adrienne Woods, which was a short book.
You didn't even take a breath after that sentence.
Yes. Why would I? And there's a werewolf.
All normal things.
All
there's
good.
a werewolf in Venom.
Okay, so Venom by Adrienne Woods is a short story in between the first and the second book in the series, and Thunderlight was the next one I read, also by Adrienne Woods. She's a terrible writer, but the storyline is interesting. 3, I think.
She sucks. 3 stars.
Yeah, she's a terrible writer, but I'm into the story.
Do you think anyone takes our book reviews seriously?
I hope so.
Do you think when we talk about this, they just fast forward?
No, because last time when we were like whispering about one of the books, someone read it, and I hope that they are like shooketh like us.
Oh,
because it was terrible.
Was that the incesty book?
Yes. It was.
Spoilers.
Now you said it. So
I don't know which one.
Whatever the series is, I think it's called Thunderlight. What is the series called? I don't know. By Adrienne Woods.
Harry Potter.
It is kind of Harry Pottery because it's like a school for like dragons and dragon riders. Okay, so it's like
cool.
fantasy and it's young adult. But there is like some sex and there is like a little bit of murder. Like early on.
Yes.
So it's a little bit bigger than like the Harry Potter was in the beginning. But then Harry Potter got murdery. I mean, they didn't talk about sex, but that's okay. So I read also Frostbite, which is the 3rd in the series, and I have the 4th in my library now. There's 5, I think, and then there's like 2 like spin-offs, and I will read them all. Even though they are very poorly written, I want to know what happens. A Hopeless Murder by Daniel Carson. I think that was a physical one I read. I love that book so much. The writing is amazing. Because it's very millennial in a good way. You know how sometimes there's like
sometimes it's bad.
Too pop culture-y? This
called?
is like perfect for me. It was called A Hopeless Murder. It's about a woman named Hope from a town called Hopeless.
Love
and
that.
she goes back because she loses her job. She's a investigative journalist. And she goes back and her grandma's sassy and she lived with her grandma. Her mom's been missing. It's a murder mystery kind of thing. And it's, I think, a cozy mystery, but it was like a good read and it was so quotable and I really, really enjoyed it. So if you like that kind of thing, I would recommend the series. It's only the first one I read, but I think there are 4. Q is for Corey by Sue Grafton. Again, they're getting better and better. I really enjoy those books. They're not great writing.
What number is the letter Q?
17.
You know that.
I'm so smart. Then I read The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James, and it was bad. I didn't like it.
3 stars.
3 stars is the book I read it. I think I really did give it 3 stars. It was bad.
If it's bad, you give it 2.
I can't. It's so mean. I can't do it. I think I have given stuff 2. But no, because it wasn't like oh, that's bad. It was just like a stupid, you know, like, but I read it. Yeah, I read it and I wasn't angry about it. It was just like
if you had a negative reaction to the book, that's a 2-star book.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel
3
like
3 stars are for books that no negative. Just
there.
Just a book and you read it.
It's a book
but
I read
if
it.
Your book and you're like, ugh, waste of my time. Or,
it wasn't a waste of my time.
Like,
It was just kind of like,
you just on the podcast said it's bad, so
it's
it should get 2 stars. Do you agree? Let's vote how many stars this book gets.
What kind of merch can we get off of that?
Exactly.
Okay. But yeah, it's like a ghost story. I thought it was gonna be like a crime story, and then there was a ghost that was like real, like a real ghost.
That's the book I'm reading right now. Except
she's
kind of a ghost, but she's kind of not. It's very weird.
Yeah, let's talk about how this is different though, because I did start reading a book that I'm currently still reading because it's physical, called Ghostly Interest by Lily Harper Hart.
Yeah.
And I'm reading another one called Horribly Haunted in Hillbilly Hollow by Blythe Baker. And both of those are ghost books that are good.
Yeah.
Because I was like, the other one was so not realistic. I was like, this is freaking stupid.
Yeah.
But the other two I really liked, because I'm still reading them.
Oh, yeah.
But Ghostly Interest by Lily Harper Hart, I cried in the first chapter.
What?
Yeah, because she gets her ghostly visions at the age of 8 when her grandfather dies and comes to her in her sleep. And so then everybody won't believe her. Because they're like, you're just traumatized, you know, but like it's real. She really does see ghosts, and like she's like a ghostbuster, and it's like a ghostbuster crime book, and it's really well written. Like it's like funny and like, but in the first chapter, I'm like seriously bawling.
I love that.
It was crazy.
The Hillbilly Hollow one?
No, Ghostly Interest. Okay. Hillbilly Hollow is a little sillier. It's a little bit more cozy. But yeah, Hillbilly Hollow is based on like a town outside of Branson, so they talk about Branson a lot, and it's really funny. Like Branson's like the big city.
Oh, that's funny.
It's funny. Anyway, I also read Verity by Colleen Hoover, which I think is a DNF for you, but I thought it was fine. It was just like...
So, it was a DNF for me. I didn't get very far into it, and then I started seeing a lot of discourse online about some things about Colleen Hoover personally and who she is and what she stands for, and I chose not to read any of her stuff because it's very much not what I believe I stand for. Lots of like racism and some sexual assault in her family that she seems to have like covered up and things like that.
What?
And it's all accusations.
Covered up?
Yeah, like her kid that she like paid off, swept under the rug kind of thing. Yeah, all that is speculation.
Like, aren't her children young? That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know all the details.
I'm pretty sure her children are still in high school.
But I do know that I didn't vibe with the book in the first place, and then I started seeing that stuff. It was like, there are enough authors without that one for me.
Yeah. I thought that the book was interesting. It was another physical book I read. It was just on my to be read, like my want to read list, and I have, I think, 2 more of hers on there that I'm just like, they're on there. I'm getting them from the library. I don't really... You know?
Yeah, whatever.
If I find something that I'm like actually like kind of
if one of her books everybody was like, oh, that's amazing, then yeah.
No,
but like,
and I feel like all of her books are pretty triggering and they don't have a trigger warning.
The first one I read was like very triggering for me very early on, and I was like, there was no indication of that. Yeah, because I read the synopsis books. And,
I don't. That's what, so I'm like, I can't really complain about that because I don't read them. Yeah. But I do know that that is a complaint from her work, is that she doesn't put any kind of trigger warning.
Like a lot of domestic abuse.
Yeah, it's a lot of abuse, a lot of like assault, a lot of like essay, and a lot of
like the one I read was kind of glorifying the domestic abuse. Like it was not the perspective.
I wonder what one that is. I'm very curious because I
didn't love it
because it wasn't this one, because this one was just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Frostbite by Adrian was already read. Yeah. I already said that because that's the third in that Dragon Rider series. I finished Inferno by Dan Brown, and what the fuck? Someone told me that they read that too during the pandemic, and don't do that. I mean, like, that's kind of crazy because it is about like a purposeful pandemic, basically.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it's like, every time you read a book by Dan Brown, it has a lot of like realism in it. Yeah. And so that it makes these things seem like they're like, and they could be like really I think there's a lot of people out there who think that this is like real. But yeah, so kind of crazy. Then I read The Stillwater Girls by Minka Kent. And that was one, remember you were talking about how you were like, the end came out of nowhere? That's how it happened. So the whole book, you're like, oh, this is so interesting, this is so good. And then it just ends. And you're like, what? And you're not going to talk about that? Like, we're not going to go into that a little bit? Like, this is like full spoiler alert, okay? It ends up being like the brother. Oh. And then, but like, they don't talk about how they would have known because they see the brother all the time. So like, why wouldn't they have known? It was crazy.
No, the one I read too, it was like the entire book is this whole story leading up to it. And then at the very end, like in the middle of the book, he has an affair with their realtor. I don't even remember what book I'm talking about.
I would have an affair with my realtor.
He has an affair with his realtor, and then he breaks off the affair, and then
they sell their house.
She blackmails him to sleep with her again. Like she shows up to his house.
She's like, that D was
like,
fire.
We're either gonna sleep together right now, or I'm gonna tell your wife. And so then it like
that's how they all do it.
Chapter like cut, scene cut, whatever, and it jumps, and then like the wife gets home from the shopping trip she was on, and he's like getting out of the shower, and you're like, whew, he made it, basically, is like the vibe of like, oh, and she's like, what are you doing showering in the middle of the day? He's supposed to be working from home or whatever. Anyway, so that you get that's it. That's all you get of the interaction with the husband and the mistress. And then like a chapter later, when you think they're resolving the crime you've been talking about the entire book, the police come dig up the mistress's body in the backyard. And it turns out he didn't have sex with her. He killed her and buried her in the backyard while his wife was at Target.
And that's why he was taking a shower
He
in
was
the middle
taking
of
a
the
shower,
day.
yeah.
Always question your partner's shower schedule. Think about it. Why would you shower in the middle of the day?
I shower in the middle of the day any chance I get.
Every day. I'll shower right now. Move. I'm going.
The bathroom's ready for you.
Grandpa's in there. Keep the shower warm.
Ew! That one was worse. You have to explain it. You have to tell the people what you just said.
When we're at Maddie's mom's house, and when she went in the house to like leave us alone, she's like, "Do you guys need anything?" And we're like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, well the bathroom's in there if you're ready, or when you're ready for it, or whatever it was."
It's
and
ready for you.
It's ready for you, yeah, whenever you need it. And I was like, "Yeah, Grandpa's in there keeping the toilet warm," and she was literally mid sip of tea, and started like. She was just like,
I just spit out the tea so I didn't
She
drown.
almost drowned, yeah. It was a murder attempt on the porch.
That book would have been better than the other books I read this month.
Same. A couple of them were that bad.
It just wasn't great.
But, I
It's
mean,
so
mostly
funny.
the reason you didn't read was because you were watching bomb TV.
Yeah, we're done with books, right?
Yeah.
We're done with books. We're
That
going
was
to talk
it.
about television now and like things we've watched. So what have you guys been watching? Let's wait for the people to talk.
Talk. It's your turn. Don't be rude. You've been asked a question.
I would say they were being quiet, but you talked the entire time. We were waiting for
Sorry,
them to
I can't be quiet.
JK. So my little brother was home for spring break and he stayed with me, so I watched a lot of TV with him. We watched the Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus. That was so good. So good.
I read those books.
We loved the Percy Jackson books when we were kids, and then Nate loves like mythology kind of stuff, and then I liked the movies. Nate says they were very inaccurate and I shouldn't have liked them. But
I mean, there's only like one or two, right?
I don't know. One thing we know about me, I don't care about accuracy or quality of the content.
Right.
I like movies.
And Logan Lerman's hot.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when it came out and I was so much younger.
Yeah, and it was not inappropriate for me to say that because he's grown up now. And it's fine.
It's fine. He's still hot now.
He's grown up. He's got gray hair.
We watched the Percy Jackson series. That took us a couple of nights. Then we watched a couple other like documentaries, and I've been watching How I Met Your Mother with my husband again. Love that show. And then the last 2 nights I watched the Nickelodeon Quiet on Set documentary, which was booked up. That was crazy.
So let's talk about that because that's part of the reason I don't like showing JJ on social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is I know it would be very easy for me to fall into that exploitative behavior.
Yeah, because you
because she's cute and I want to share her.
And we're used to sharing our lives.
Yeah.
So,
but like parents, like your intent's not always bad in the beginning, you know.
It's not about your intent though.
Yeah.
It's
about the safety of your child, and that's like what I have to think about, and that's why I don't like to actually share the baby on the internet, is because once it's out there, it's out there, and people can use that content for whatever they want. So that's why I don't post a lot of like public stuff about how cute she is and all her cute stuff. I mean, she has
and
cute
her outfits and
clothes
the stuff she does.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just not worth the risk. A lot of the stuff in that documentary was like not necessarily a surprise. There were details of it, but it's like there have been a lot of active investigations and stuff, and like I don't think anybody that I know was under the impression that like all these child stars were like treated perfectly. Like I think it was pretty clear things were wrong, but there was just a lot of people sharing their stories, and it was a lot, and it's a lot to digest, but it's also so important for that to be out in the public eye, for that to be something people are talking about and aware of. And anyway, it was, I mean, I can't even say I liked it because I don't think it's a documentary that you like or dislike. I think it's just important for like us to continue to be more aware of the repercussions of kids on the internet and kids on TV and
exploitation.
Kids in the
That's
public
what it
eye.
is. Yeah.
And
don't exploit your babies.
it's
They're your
scary,
babies.
and like you may think you're not exploiting your baby, but you might be. Like you don't. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
You have to think about, like, because, like, okay, so my niece is 6, and she wants to be famous. She wants to be on YouTube. She wants to be on children's shows. And my sister is like, okay, you can post all of that privately. She doesn't know that. But that's like the safest way that she can do it, because even if that is like a 6-year-old's dream, how, knowing what we know, how could you do that? Like, you have to make the safe
control
choice.
the audience
Yeah.
unless it's private like that. Like, anything out there is out there, and it doesn't have to be like truly graphic or inappropriate content for it to be used inappropriately. And it's most often not graphic and inappropriate content that's used inappropriately. And it's just a crazy world we live in.
Yeah, and you gotta let children be children.
Agreed. And I respect that you don't put that baby on the internet.
It's really hard because she's so cute and people ask all the time, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry. I do have a private story, and I do have like my, like, you know, stuff that's
friends.
locked down and
Yeah.
stuff like that, so that I can control who gets to see her.
Friends.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. People you know, and you know their intentions as best as you can.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just feel like that's a crazy documentary. I really want to watch it too. I just don't have HBO Max.
Nick does. I'm sure he'd give you his password. That's how I got it.
Thanks, Nicholas.
It's on my TV. Come to my house.
But yeah. Life stuff now.
Let's talk about our lives.
We finished TV.
Your turn.
Lives. My baby started walking, so I will share that, because Ryan the Yarn Hag was like, if you just want to share like some milestones or like anything, like, you know, a lot of us, you know, just kind of want to know. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. She started walking, like, for real. Like, she's been taking like little steps here and out there, like, for months now, like since she was 9 months old. On her 9-month birthday, she took her first like steps. And then now she can like walk like across the room, but it's like real wobbly and cute. And she's into everything, and we're always sick.
Always.
Which is not fun.
So sad.
It's
a real bummer for me.
It is a bummer for me being sick all the time, because like she can get anything at any moment, and then I'll get it like 2 days later.
Yeah.
I'm still breastfeeding, which is crazy. I cannot believe I made it this long. But so like we're very close.
Yeah.
Physically all the time. And so like she'll just cough in my mouth. Like it's no joke. Baby's coughing your mouth.
Ew.
I know. And she's all snotty all the time, so there's just like snot everywhere. She has horrible allergies, and she'll be getting tubes in her ears in the next month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've had 3 ear infections in the last 6 months.
Yeah, they're just, the tubes are a big help from my experience. Man, oh man, I don't have a baby, so I've been walking. I don't have milestones to share with y'all.
You've been walking. She knew how to walk a long time ago.
I'm actually an expert at that.
I beg to differ. I mean, I would call you a novice at that.
Intermediate.
Okay, intermediate. I'll give you intermediate.
I'm a little clumsy.
Little clumsy.
Just a smidge.
Just a little.
My knee's still screwed up. I fell in front of my office. I told you guys.
She has a 1-year fall. Every year
annually.
she falls once.
Yeah.
Hard.
In
to where
public.
she hurts herself. In public. That's the
in.
most important part.
It's humiliating.
No,
what's been going on in my life? I talked a little bit. We went down for the baby shower. My brother and sister-in-law live up in Northwest Arkansas, so my mom and I went for the weekend a few weeks ago. Made a long weekend of it, so we saw some friends we have in that area. We ate a bunch of good food. The shower was so sweet. Daisha's best friend is pregnant at the same time. She's due any minute now. And so they had like a joint shower, which was really sweet, and it was just a really lovely time, and I got to spend a lot of time with her and with Malika, and I love that. And then work has just been crazy, like non-stop popping off.
Same.
Yeah, so not even gonna talk about work.
Can we share a little bit about work though?
Go for it.
Because I get email blasts on my work account from her work account, and I
added her to our mass mailing list because I thought it was funny.
It was. I mean, that was a long time ago too, and so like I just kind of like laugh at some of the things that come across every now and then, because I hear about them from the internal source, you know. And so I meant to email back her work friend.
Okay, so context: we had like a hiring fair this past week for spring break because we anticipated it was gonna be really slow, so we did like door prizes and donuts and cookies and just cute stuff to get people in the door, and that was really successful. So Friday was Food Truck Friday. We reached out to a bunch of local food trucks, and we're actually gonna have a food truck like every Friday for the next
for a long
time
decision.
But the first food truck we had, the name of this food truck was called Phillips Lips and Tips.
Phillips Lips and Tips.
Lips and Tips.
Lips and Tips. What kind of food do you think they have? Do you think they serve lips or tips?
So she serves like Philly cheesesteak burgers,
Yeah,
fries.
barbecue, like finger licking food.
Yeah. So her slogan is "Food so good, you'll bring your fingers to your lips and lick the tips."
But why?
So I had told Christen this. I've been talking about it since the moment we lined that food truck up. And then this email goes out with her menu and like,
and the
check
food
it
is
out.
great.
And the food was really good. And but the email goes out and Christen responds to our to the corporate email inbox,
which I really, really thought said Haley on there. I was like, I'm emailing Haley. She's gonna laugh so hard she doesn't even know I'm on here. And I emailed everyone in her company.
Yep. Which is, I mean,
all I said was not the lips and tips.
And so for 2 days leading up to this, because the food truck part was kind of last minute, my boss had been like itching to cancel this. He's like, that's so unprofessional. Like, it's not a good look. Like, I just don't think we should do it. And we're like, but it's a local business. Like, that, like, she named her business, not us. And we're like going back and forth. Great. And we're like, well, she's already lined up. We don't have anyone else as like a backup. So like, if we cancel, we advertised a food truck Friday. That won't happen. And so we convinced him to go with it. But then we get she sends out the mass mailer. He immediately gets an email from one of our largest clients, from the corporate account of one of our largest clients, like a big money maker, a big money maker for us. And it says not the lips and tips. And faster than I can like process that Christen emailed that to our corporate account, David forwards it back to everyone. My boss forwards it back to everyone in the office and says, "Here we go."
It was so funny.
And
I was like only a little embarrassed because I was like, it's fine. I know all of those people. It's fine. It's fine.
So funny.
It was so funny.
And I immediately responded to David and I was like, it was Christen. It's like,
my friend.
Who it is, it's Christen.
Yeah.
And he's like, It was so funny.
You're like, she thinks she's funny.
It was hilarious. I've been saying it all week. And like he bought lunch for us from the food truck Friday and I got to leave at noon Friday, but I sat down to eat before I left because he bought it, so why not? And I'm eating and enjoying the food and everybody's like, God, this is good. And I was like, yeah, man, this is so good. Makes me bring my fingers to my lips and lick those tips. And he almost fired me, I'm pretty sure.
He's like, that's it. You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
It was so silly. What a silly name for your food truck.
But I mean, delicious. So good job. Eat at Lips and Tips if you can.
It was good. She also does breakfast. She's going to come back and do a breakfast one day.
Delicious.
On Friday.
This is
I had already woven an ends there, I suppose.
Yeah, you did. You're so smart. Oh, just pull it out. It's fine.
That's what she said.
The
sun's going down. It's getting cold.
Yeah, and we're done because we talked about everything.
Yeah, you know what we should do?
I gotta get my baby. I can't leave her there.
Your baby can come to Texas. They allow babies.
Yeah, they allow babies at Texas Roadhouse. I heard. I mean, we have.
I knew she would do that.
Didn't even help me.
Yeah, I got it.
Still on there. But yeah, so we are done.
You barely talked about your life. You just said my baby's walking. Is that everything?
My work sucks and I'm sick all the time. Yeah,
I mean, done anything in the last month? I haven't.
Yeah, just baby stuff. I mean, it was spring break.
Yeah.
I had my sister had all of her teeth removed.
Oh, all of them?
Literally all the whole top row of teeth. She's got implants. She's getting implants.
Do you remember that temp I had that's teeth got stolen?
Throw up at her desk all the time. Yes. So yeah, no, she has stealable teeth currently. Her teeth are stealable. And so
I'm not providing any other context to that, but
that's all you need. Teeth got stolen. Crazy. But yeah, so she had all her teeth removed, so she was like Mick fucked up.
Yeah.
And I kept
Mick.
She was Mick fucked up. And so I kept her kids overnight and I did school pickup and drop off.
Oh,
and
you're like a soccer mom now.
It was insane. I was terrified. I also had lunch with my niece at her kindergarten because she's been asking me to forever.
Her what?
Her kindergarten.
Sorry, say it again. What was the last part? One more time.
Garden? Garden. Kindergarten.
I love her.
But yeah, so I went to kindergarten and it was really fun. I don't understand how anyone else says it. It's kindergarten. Kindergarten? That's stupid. That's not it. It's kindergarten.
No, I like the way you say it. It's like when Wesley says Pizert instead of dessert. It's the same thing to me.
Berserk. But yeah, I went to kindergarten and it was fun. and we had McDonald's, and my niece was talking with, there's 2 other children, and they're having lunch with their parents, and it was really cute because they have like a separate dining room where you,
if you're fancy.
If you want to eat with your child, you can't eat with all the other children, I think is the rule. So you get to only eat with your child.
Well, then the other kids don't see you like with McDonald's.
But also I think that it's to keep you who are not vetted, you know, you're a parent, so they don't have to fingerprint you and stuff, away from children, because you're not supposed to be around children in a public school unless you've been fingerprinted. I know that because I've been fingerprinted. But
I do that for work. I fingerprint the cafeteria ladies.
I got fingerprinted when I was a student teacher many years ago. So I cannot commit crimes. There's a face in that tree and it's very spooky.
Where? Oh yeah.
Anyway, it was really fun and cute, and school drop off and pickup makes me nervous. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about JJ when she goes to school. I've got years.
Just sit in your car and.
Yeah, driving around children makes me nervous. You've been in the car with me. I'm not good.
That's true. It should make the children
Scary.
nervous too.
Scary. So. They don't know. They're just, but it was really cute, and Eden loved it, and so we had a sleepover on a school night, and she was like, "This is the best day of my life." She's so funny, and they're watching my child right now. So I'm like, "What is my child doing? I want to go get her."
We're almost done.
We're almost done. Actually, we're done.
I frogged my brioche. I kind of want to cast on another shawl now. What should I cast on? I just don't know what to knit. Like, I'm out of ideas, you know? Like,
just keep knitting baby stuff. It's so fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's so fun.
So fun. I should just finish my zipper light, and I should knit all these baby socks. But, like, this will be really cute as a little ruffled dress. Mm-hmm. The purple ruffle, that's what that's going to be. I just decided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, no.
What?
I'm not done.
What happened?
Never mind, I can be done. I'll talk about it next time.
What? I want to know. I'm so curious. Do I get to know?
Well, we mentioned Hosier earlier, and I didn't talk about it.
Hosier.
Yeah, so, because I don't know the next time we'll podcast, hopefully
before Hosier.
2 or 3 weeks. That way it'll be before Hosier. But the last weekend of April, all over April, I'm going to Jonesboro like 3 times to see Nate perform, which is so fun. And I think, gosh, I know I can't put up videos of like other people on the internet really, but like I have these videos from his last showcase of his solos, and they're like the best solos he's ever had.
Put them on your personal
channel. And I'm
channel.
probably just gonna like do a vlog of his singing.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and I'll link it. If you do it, I'll link it.
They were so free. I've showed them to everyone in my real life. You guys are real, but
no,
anyway.
You're not. Did you know? You guys are Sims in our world, and we made you follow us.
Not the Sims.
The Sims.
Anyway, he has like 3 concerts, like an opera showcase, and a choir concert, and all kinds of stuff in April. So I'm going back and forth to Jonesboro a lot. But then the last weekend of April, I'm going to Jonesboro. He has a concert on Thursday night, and then we're seeing Hosier on Friday. So I'm going up to Jonesboro. I'm going to see him. I'm going to camp that night. And then Friday, after his classes in the morning, we're going to get in my car, and I'm going to drive to Northwest Arkansas. And then we're going to see Hosier.
That's crazy.
And then we're going to stay with my brother Malachi in Northwest Arkansas, and then we're going to drive back to Jonesboro, and I'm going to drop him off, and then I'm going to try and get back in time to go to my friend Haley's son's birthday party. Because it's that evening, and I probably won't make it, but I'm gonna try.
It's gonna be Sunday evening?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I was like, are him and JJ born at the same time? That's funny.
Well, his birthday's like a couple days before.
Yeah.
They're just having it on the weekend. Anyway, I think so, though.
Must be.
Let me look at my calendar. I'll do that after.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really excited for that, and I need to start listening to the Hosier Unreal and Earth album on repeat. That way I can memorize all the songs. And I also need to start saving up so I can buy us both really expensive merch while we're there, and afford the gas to every corner of Arkansas in one weekend.
Some people call it Hosier. I've heard it on the internet, and it's weird.
Yeah, some people
Hosier
say a lot of things, like Musselburgh.
Hosier. He's not even French.
Hosier?
Isn't he like Irish?
Yeah, he's Irish.
Hosier.
He's Hosier. That's so
Hosier?
weird.
Is that it?
He's
really
Andrew.
though? Is that French?
He's Hosier.
You know him. His name's Andrew.
I'm so excited for that
Andrew.
concert. And then at the end of May, I'm seeing Noah Kahn, and for that, even more excited.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's so tall. When I saw him, I thought Noah Kahn. Yeah, I thought he was short. But have you seen him and Casey Musgrave together? Mm-mm. He's like a foot taller than her.
But do you know who I have seen him with? Madison's best friend, because he was at a coffee shop in Nashville today. And Madison sent me this picture, and she was like, "My friend met Noah," and I was like, "Why weren't you there?" And
yeah, see, tall.
Yeah, he is. I'm not going to show you this random person. No. But yeah, he was just at this coffee shop in Nashville. And I was like, get there now. And Madison was like, he was gone when I got there. was like, well, that's depressing. That could have been incredible.
Yeah.
And I just want to go to Nashville and meet Noah Khan.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that in May.
Yeah. You're going to do that in May.
Any whoosies, I think that's all about our lives for now. I would like you to send me some pink yarn, and I would like...
yeah.
I would like
comment, subscribe, pink yarn.
Oh my gosh. I would like suggestions on baby patterns for Rolo. So,
yeah.
And also baby boy patterns, because while I'm more excited about the baby that's named after me, I also am having a nephew named George. And
nephew named George also needs patterns.
I'm going to knit him a little
sweater
Curious
with a name.
George, and I'm going to do a little knit George Foreman girl, and I'm going to
a George W.
I'm going to knit a George W.
The American flag.
I'm going to knit
blanket.
Not the American flag.
Not America. America.
Oh,
okay,
George.
anyway, we love you. Bye.
Bye. I think they're just going to be happy to see us at all.
Yeah.
You look so cute. You're a little dress.
We're so tall.
We look like the perfect lesbian couple.
We're such a
You're in
cute
a dress. I'm in a
couple.
cactus button down and Crocs.
Yeah. And a hat.
And the hat.
No,
my hair needs to be washed so bad, and this is like what y'all are gonna get from me.